What's up, party people? What's going on, folks? It's Jay Wilson, and yes, we are live tonight on Wednesday at 7:58. I'm slightly early, so I'm going to get things all squared away, give some people an opportunity to overcome that amazing, that amazing win by the New York Yankees. So pretty stoked about that. I haven't done live videos in a while just because it's been a little much, a lot of stuff going on. And is anybody's screen flashing like mine is? Charmaine Guy, is my screen flashing? Sean Land, is the screen flashing? If it's not, we'll proceed. It looks like I'm having some issues here, so Yankees do rule, my friend. Okay, so since it's not, we're good to go. So today we're going to talk about a few things that probably will ruffle some feathers, which is okay because I think a lot of us need to hear it, myself included. And IFG, Renee Miranda, Charmaine Guy, Jamie McDonald, Robert McClaskey, James Dunn, Jamie MacDonald, Southeast Cichlids, what up? Hate feathers. I'm going to ruffle some hate feathers. No, I'm going to talk about some things that need to be talked about from time to time because I think it needs to bring us back to reality in the fish hobby because we lose touch, and we'll get to that here in a moment. Sasquatch Aquatics, it's great to see you here as well. Brian, B005, Corey Dunley, what's going on? So here's the deal. Let me give you a quick update and bring you up to speed of what is going on. So I stopped the live videos on Wednesday for a few reasons. One is I'm running out of time, like physical time, and you can't buy more, you can't procure more, you can't trade up. If you don't have it, you don't have it. So I wanted to focus a lot on what we were trying to do as a family. We're trying to move down here together. Maybe my wife not as excited as I was to start a new journey, but nonetheless 100% support on the back end. And so moving down here, being down here, as you know, is a big, huge feat, especially when you have an 8-month-old child. So I commend anyone that is either doing it with, if they're couples or if they're doing it singly. You folks are amazing because there's a lot that goes into it when you just add that one extra unable body to help within the move. And so it's a little difficult. Jennifer Mitchell, it was a pleasure meeting you yesterday as well. So most of you folks know that I started a local fish store called All Things Aquatic. Well, we took a very, very big U-turn, and here's why. I work Monday through Friday for Universal Rocks, 9 to 5. It is not a 9 to 5 job to me. It is fun, it is exciting, I get to create, I get to work with people that I never would have got a chance to work with. And so it was hard for me to give the exact attention that customers desire within a local fish store. They have questions about fish, they want to know about their setups, and I want to provide that, and I wasn't able to. So the partner that I went in was supposed to kind of offset that, and his schedule was just too demanding with school and his other engagements. So what we've decided to do is we're only going to special order fish for people. So if you want something, you call us, you email us, you get with us at some point, we'll get you what you need. But we'll sell dry goods locally. That's pretty easy to get that stuff. We'll have this huge showroom and you can purchase it through All Things Aquatic. And then on top of it, I want to get back to loving everything. You get a small disconnect, which is what we're going to get into with the fish hobby. And I felt that it was just turning and turning. I thought, man, local fish store seems in my mind so awesome. Let's try it. And it was great. The setup, the maintenance, none of it was hard. It just became we were running out of time. And I'm the type of person that I cannot half-ass something. I can't just go in just a little bit and provide you a half-baked, if you will, experience. That's not me. That'll never be me. And I wouldn't expect that as a customer. So we've got some fish we're selling. We're doing a great job of getting those out. And we're going to focus in on breeding. I think it's going to be really neat. NORTHFINUSA is continually growing, and I thank you so much for the support. Looks like we'll be down here in Texas full-time January, so we've got a lot of logistical stuff. The Aquatic Experience is coming up. The first weekend in November, be there. If you can be there, it's going to be awesome. It'll give us an opportunity to have the human connection and not a digital connection. And so I'm really excited for that. J-Mo Cichlids, what's up? Why are my fish so scared as soon as I go near them? they don't feel comfortable in their environment. That's why it is. You're blowing up. Congratulations. I wouldn't say I was blowing up. We were creating this. We were doing it because this is what we wanted to do, and then we realized that when we got in it, we weren't able to provide 100% of the energy that we needed for it to go 100% for the customer. And so when it came down to it, this direction of breeding out of all things aquatic is going to be much better in the future. What's up, Jay? Long time no talk. Been busy. Big Joe's Fish Room. What's up, my brother? So, Josh Cunningham, Sean Pierce, Michael Smith, Ali Asala, bye. Rick Williams, Don Gray. Folks, thank you so much for showing up. So here's the deal. Let's get into the topics. And if you have questions, we're going to save them till the end. So chances are I won't be able to get to those while I'm talking about this because I think this needs to be heard. And Brian asked, can I put your universal rocks in a bearded dragon tank? Absolutely. They're perfect for reptiles. Select the reptile thing on the top, the tab, and get right in it. We have completely redesigned the website. Go check it out. It is, how do we say it? It's going to be huge, huh? It's fantastic. Just get there. Cichlid Shack, what's up, my man? Tony Ferguson from Australia, what's up? So, first off, let me talk about the fish hobby. Stop half-baking what you are doing. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I don't care how famous you think you are or not famous, because that doesn't exist with a human connection. I don't care the following, the drive, or whatever. If you are half-baking information back to somebody, if you are half-baking a Facebook group, if you are half-baking a forum, if you are half-baking a tank setup, if you are half-baking what you are doing in terms of the attention, the intelligence, and exactly the amount of time that you're putting into something, you are not only doing yourself an injustice, but you are doing the people that are actually actively seeking your advice, actively seeking what you are doing, and actively trying to be a part of your journey. And you are doing them a disservice. So stop. There's no one person in particular. Some of us, probably all of us, can be put to blame at some point for this issue. And let me give you the definition of half-baked. Poorly developed or carried out. Would you poorly develop or carry out a half-baked plan to have a family? Lacking adequate planning or forethought. Oh, I don't have enough space for this 500-gallon tank I bought. But it was going to be so cool and so many views and followers was going to happen. Gosh darn it. The third, lacking in judgment, intelligence, or common sense. This happens way too much. Way too much. Folks, stop half-baking the fish hobby. The fish deserve more, you deserve more, and what you're doing could be amazing, and it's not. It's short of amazing. And it bothers me to see it day in and day out. Poorly executed information just being vomited from people that people actually get after for information, not following or check out my fans, bruh. Get the heck out of here. Fans. I got a fan right here. No, if people are actively excited about what I'm doing or are side by side with me, you know, YouTube calls them subscribers, Facebook calls them followers, and people with big egos call them fans. Come on, man. What's up, Jay? I'm a big fan of you. I got a question. How can I keep my 10-gallon tank clean like crystal clear water? It gets foggy water. Slow down the feeding, slow down the lights, get a better filtration, and cut out half of probably the amount of fish you have in there. And if you don't have that many fish, then just slow down on the feeding, do the maintenance properly, stop changing 80% of a 10-gallon tank, and cut the lights out a little early. Bill Hudd, I appreciate that, but that's the problem. It's not. You're not a fan, you're not a follower, you're not a subscriber. You're somebody that's actively excited about the things that we're trying to do together. And that's why I've always been so passionate about the hobby, whether it's giving back or trying to create or raise money through contests. Folks, this is just completely blown out of proportion. You could type in fish in YouTube and you get about 80% half-baked information. It's like, fish, keep, sand, Please subscribe, donate to my Patreon, super chat me, donate some money to the PayPal link. Do me a solid. I need a better camera. No, you need a better plan. Folks, I understand that we're all not able to just run out and go purchase the things that we need. I get it. I 100% get it. But you have to have a plan. You can't get halfway in the middle and go, oh my goodness, I'm never going to be Facebook, YouTube famous. I need a better camera. I've been using an iPhone since jump. Since jump. A $14 stand, a cord, and no microphone right now. And a $20 light that I didn't turn on, which I probably should have. So, you folks need to understand that. If you're doing it, fix it. If you're actively seeking information from somebody, but then you don't feel it's right, so you go to somebody else, you've just wasted your own time knowing that you were getting garbage from somebody's trash can mouth. I'll never have all the answers. IFG will never have all the answers. The Aquatic Lounge will never have all the answers. But I can promise you that through my own mouth, I will give you the best possible information. I will do what is right by you each and every time, and I will not half-bake something, which is why I stop things, because they're not good for you and they're not good for me, and therefore you get nothing out of it. Does that make sense? If you're going to do it, don't do it half-assed. That's what Mindy's dad, my father, he'll say it. Don't do it half-assed. Don't. Would you tell your kid, all right, son, get up to the plate and just half-ass that swing? And that doesn't work. Half-ass your grades, you're going to do great. If you're going to be great at something, you have to be focused and want to be great at everything you're doing, to include doing your laundry, to cleaning your tanks, to being a better husband, a father, a brother, a sister, a significant other, whatever it is. You have to be willing to give 100% in everything. Otherwise, you're half-baking it. and so the Cichlid Shack just said, all in or not at all. Folks, this isn't about monetary stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. And I don't think Cichlid Shack was talking about that either. I'm talking in general. What I'm saying is, you've got to be in it. You're in it to win it. You can get all these motivational signs, hang in there, whatever. But when it comes down to it at the end of the day, you're wasting your own time. Whether you're on this end of the camera or you're on that end of the live feed, if you're not getting anything out of it, you gotta go. I gotta go. That's how it works. You're wasting time. And I don't want you to waste your time, because time is precious. We've got no best use before date, so you've got to make the most of it. If somebody could get that worthless oxygen-sucking monster out of there, that would be fantastic. These Sour Patch Kids are off the chain. I see it. Sell Don't Half Bake shirts on the website. No, you can go get those. And I ain't talking half bake with Jim Brewer and Dave Chappelle, man. Okay. The other thing that I want to get to. Does anybody have anything to add? Let's go to that. Do you have anything to add? Dion, you're wasting your time. It's a half-baked human robot being stupid. So disregard him. Give him no attention, because I'm going to get to that in a second. So here's the deal. The key is stop imitating. Imitation is horrible. Imitation is silly. It is a copy. It is not a form of flat. You're not flattered when you get to that point. It's all part of the hobby. You enjoy doing it, and then it shouldn't be a problem. Misinformation is a problem. I get that, but people like to do that stuff. They enjoy. KG Cichlids, and I'm going to get to that in a moment, because you're missing the complete point of this. If you're not getting anything out of it, move away. Get away from it. Pull yourself off of social media. Pull yourself away from the internet. Pull yourself away from YouTube. Get information from a book. Get back to what it was you enjoyed. There's no reason to try to bring somebody down. There's no reason to just continue to force information to somebody so that you can get a couple of pennies or a couple of dollars off of a video, a share, an ad, or whatever you're trying to do. Now, if you're actually in it and you're constantly learning, you're not half-baking it. That's the problem. You have to understand the half-baked mentality. What's going on, Drew Lipsy? Sasquatch Aquatics, man, you're getting hit hard. It happens. I have most of these words blocked, but they create so many different things. There's really only 3 fish in the tank, Michael Smith. I apologize. Yo, Jay, are you coming to the Ohio Extravaganza next month? Brandon Harris, it is still on my calendar unless something crazy happens, which could be the sale of my house. It could be, the sale of my house. If that happens and I have to be out of the house a certain time, there's probably no way I'll make it, but I have a table. I've sponsored some stuff. I've got a room. Everything is lined up. Logan's Fish and More. It would be double its normal price if they sold it. I must have missed it. So here's Imitation. And I'm gonna bring up I asked Mindy what she thought of Imitation in the hobby. And this is what she said. Well, first she gave me this big joke. She said, you have to do it for you. You see somebody gets 5 tanks. You go, oh man, they've got some views. They've got some followers. Their Facebook group is popping. I need to get 5 tanks. Well, guess what? You just half-baked that thought based upon an imitation factor, and now you put yourself in a heap of crap because you got 5 tanks that you really don't have the time or money for, and now what? Now you're tired of the hobby because you got in it too fast, there's too much, you didn't know how to ease up into it, you basically hit the throttle with no brake cable, and when you tried to hit the brakes, it was too late. And so now you're knee-deep in all these tanks, you're having a tough time selling them, you have no space for them, and it puts stress on your family or your roommates. Right? Does that make sense? So you're imitating things that you're seeing. Now, you can use things as a inspirational piece like, dang man, I really like the way the Cichlid Shack set up one of his tanks. I want to do something very similar. Or you know what, I really like that background. Let me do it my way. I'm going to get that background, I'm going to cut it this way, I'm going to add these rocks over here, and I'm going to do this. Or I'm not even going to do that, I'm just going to get a tree branch or this and that. There's so many different ways you can use people as inspiration. Dipsy Doo Dunkaroo, what up, dog? Or you can use it as a stepping stone for you. Make it about you. That's what's fantastic about the fish hobby. It is, and I said this before, it's a very selfish hobby as well because you are the one that's going to be spending the most time looking at the fish. So make it something about you, a reflection of you, something you enjoy. Use people as inspiration, but don't look to imitation. That's the cheap way out. That's the copycat version. You got to do you. That's the amazing part of this hobby because, I mean, I've looked at tanks straight up. And I said, holy cow, that tank is simply amazing. I would love to have something very similar like that. But I never once said I want that exact thing. Maybe a tank, a canopy, and a stand, but the overall essence of what was inside had to be about me because that's where I become most passionate. Even when I was starting, man, I was throwing holy rock and switching stuff out and doing this and doing that because I was having fun and it was about what I was doing. And folks, you've got to get back to that. If KG Cichlids enjoys looking at angelfish, continue doing angelfish. Continue to put whatever plants you enjoy in there. If IFG likes his neon tetras, or if IFG runs out and he gets himself, 400 glowfish, that's what IFG likes. We can rag on him a little bit and play with them if you're friends like that, but outside of that, let people do them. I may not like mixed tanks. I may not like hybrid fish, certain hybrid fish, certain line bred fish. I don't like the way you procured those fish. Doesn't mean that I have to force it down you or imitate what you're doing to force people to imitate. You got to just do you. Do you? IFG, the Lord of Glowfish. You do need to have fun. I don't care if you're 13 or you're 75. You need to have fun in the fish hobby. If it has just become a monotonous thing, you're going to half bake it. You're going to not take care of the tank properly. You're not going to give it the attention it needs. You're not going to do the water changes. You're going to fall victim to everything that you're reading, and then you're going to turn around and go, oh, I need help. My fish are dying. No. Well, yeah, because everything just fell out because you were too fixated on a social media post, or you're too fixated on the next fastest post, or the like, or the share, or the video. It's not about that. It's about enjoying the hobby, which leads me to the third thing that I think is an issue with the fish hobby right now. And that is a disconnect from digital connection to human connection. 100% it probably is the number one issue in the fish hobby. And I'll give you some examples. Hey bud, you're looking to get more information and get more into the fish hobby. Why don't you check out a local club? Sup, bruh? I ain't gotta do no clubs, yo. Why I gotta do clubs, okay? I got social medias. I got the internet. I don't need people. I don't need them. I've got groups, forums. You know, I don't need you. I don't need to talk to you or see you. You do nothing for me. Are you finished? Because you just completely removed the number one element from within the fish hobby. And that's the human element outside of keeping the actual fish. People say, J-Mo says, the fish hobby keeps me out of trouble. A lot of trouble. That's perfect. I think fish keeping is very trendy. People tend to like what's popular now, and then that wears off. You got to go slow and follow your preferences only. You got to do exactly what you want to do. You can't go, oh, the Kardashians did it. I'm doing it. Cool. I've got my yoga pants on. I've got my frappuccino from Starbucks. It's gonna be so lit. Stop. Folks, you're pulling the human element out of it. You would rather sit in a Facebook group, which is not a bad thing. It's a double-edged sword. And I'm gonna read to you what Mindy wrote to me. It is a double-edged sword. Because when I meet you in person, Way Flores, Jennifer Mitchell, Billy Bonzel, to the Cichlid Shack, to Butch Livingston, to everybody, Odd Konings, to Pam Chin, to Darius, to, I can't pronounce Darius's last name, that one's Northfin, to Lisa Hober from Super Cichlids, to interacting with people on a daily basis, personally, face to face. Corey Hecker. There's so many people that I'm leaving out, and I apologize. When I get to meet you face to face, it far exceeds anything I'll ever experience on the internet. Far experience. Matter of fact, Matt Webster is a true testament. The reason why Matt Webster and I continue to talk today is not because of social media. It was the start from social media. Matter of fact, it was YouTube. And then Matt Webster takes his kids, who he kept telling me, I'm not going to be able to stay long at OCA last year. I'm only going to come for a little bit. This guy drives 30 plus minutes with his children, who do not want to drive that far at that moment in time, just to come say hello. There's an auction about to happen where you can procure things that you can't procure on Facebook. Because you get to meet the person behind what it is. You get to meet the person that did the research 5 years ago at Lake Malawi, Lake Tanganyika, or worked with Project Payaba in South America. You get to meet these people firsthand. You get to associate with them, not go, they posted that ugly picture, those stupid fools. Delete, add, share, smiley face, feeling pumped. Jay Wilson's a freaking tool bag. Bam! Why? You're missing it. And let me read. Mindy said, social media is a double-edged sword. We chase after what others have just because we see it, when we should be focusing in on what we have and what we can do to help. People don't participate in clubs, i.e. ACA, MCA, OCA, GCCA. They say NECA, I say NECA. NECA is an actual company, so that's why I say NECA, so I apologize. To the Keystone Clash, to the big, the Big Five, to Pacific Cichlid Association, to groups all over the world in Australia. Folks, you don't participate in clubs because there's Facebook groups. And yeah, I started a Facebook group, but it wasn't to detract from the actual clubs, which is great, but there's a human element that can always be missing. And then we chase after, like what others have, and that we should be focusing on ourselves and what we can do for the fish hobby and make that great. And that is, there's such a handful of people on social media that will lift you up, but there's an equal amount that are just having a great time pushing you down. But for what? What does that do for anybody? How does that build the community of fish keeping? How does it build the hobby? But that's just like in life with the divide. There's always a team. You always have to be a part of a team. Well, I'm a part of a social media crowd because I think clubs are boring. Have you been to one? Yeah, I've been to one on a Wednesday night in the middle of the summer. There was 3 people. Have you been to a large event like the American Cichlid Association convention that's going to be happening in Houston, Texas next year? Have you been to the Keystone Clash? Have you been to the OCA Extravaganza? I can tell you this right now. The Ohio Cichlid Association Extravaganza happens in the same place and the same time every year, and it was the most fun that I have ever had single-handedly, in an accumulation of just having the table and talking to people and meeting such a diverse crowd in one fish event. It was phenomenal. But we complain when stuff goes away, but we weren't willing to participate in it. That's the sad part. You can join the ACA, it's $35 a year, and you get a plethora of information. The Cichlid Room Companion in itself is worth that. Yes, your donation for your membership goes to research and conservation. There are plenty of things that the American Cichlid Association does that we don't announce to the public every minute. Excuse me. Yes, there is money sitting in a bank. But in order to do the things that the American Cichlid Association wants to do, they have to vote. So if you're not getting what you want in terms of the fish hobby, you need to start being a participant in it. If you want it to continue, you need to continue participating in it. You become a member, you vote, you look at things, you gain information, you know what's going on. Go on a trip to Lake Malawi, skip Vegas and go to Malawi, see it firsthand, how it's degrading rapidly and the farmers are illegally fishing fish because they need money to survive, and we got dudes like, no, I'm still waiting for that message on Facebook. Where the frick are my Cheetos, man? Shoot. Had my Cheetos and my puffs and my pigskin puffs. What the hell? And then the message comes in and you just scored 5 illegal fish, but yeah, I got them. I'm going to show them on Facebook and the Grandma Face and Witter, and they're going to see that I'm the kingfish. What are you proving? Be a part of something great, folks. You're missing out. The Aquatic Experience. There's going to be so many people there in Chicago the first weekend in November. A ton of people. A ton. People that you may know, people you don't know, people you're going to rub shoulders with and be like, what are you here for? I'm here for the fish. I'm here for the Aquatic Experience. You're there for the same thing. You have a commonality. You get it? It's like going to a sporting event, you're wearing the opposing team's jersey, and you happen to sit 3 seats next to somebody that's wearing a similar jersey. You have a commonality, and what happens through the game when your team scores or makes, and I'll be facetious, makes a point or makes a run or whatever scores a goal, whatever it is your sports do, you look at each other. You've bonded instantly. But you're missing it on here. You're missing it. You're missing it. Because a lot of people are fake behind the camera, and when you get to them, they're like, hey, Jay, man, what's going on, man? I saw you were going to be breeding. What do you like to breed? What is that? You're faking it. Meet people. Human connection. Develop real relationships. And get back to exactly what got you into the fish hobby in the first place. Because when you're happy doing something, everybody around you is okay with it. But the moment somebody tells you, no, not another tank. Well, why? Because you're really not taking care of the other ones. And now that you have more, you're like, I don't want to do water change. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I'm tired. I want to drink a beer. That's great. But you half-baked it, and that's why. Faking like Clay Aiken. What if I'm Team Frontosa and IFG shows up wearing a Team Hap shirt? There's going to be a fight, bro. That's on you, KG, man. But in the end, it's all about fish. Nothing else matters. So, folks, here's the deal. Enjoy your bookie face, okay? You can tweet, bruh. Tell me everything you're doing when your fish poops the stringy stuff. When you get a little bit of fungi, cloud eye. Tweet it. Gram Insta your stuff. Make it look so great. Filter it. I want to see your dragon blood for what it really ain't. Do it. It's okay. But remember to take small chunks out of it. There are books and clubs. There is publication, and there is actual humans putting energy in something they love that is dying. We complain every day. Man, my local fish store closed down. They were so good to me. I was the only one in there. I supported them. Oh yeah, what did you buy last time? Well, I went in there and I said, I'm going to buy a lot of stuff and I'm going to need a discount because Amazon gets me the 2-day free shipping, and when it doesn't come in 24 hours, I get really ticked off. So I want it now. All right, well, those two fish are $60 total, and the food is another $10. That's going to be $70. Look, I'm not going to do that, okay? You're going to give me a discount if I buy the two fish. I want one free, and I want half price on the fish food. I know you can do it because Amazon's got the same stuff. So go ahead, do your little magic behind there on your square up reader thing. Go ahead. And I want points, too. And tell me how to do it. I want to know the fish. And I want a 175-day money-back guarantee. If that fish gets anything or looks at me funny, I want you to return it at full retail value and not the freebie that I got, okay? That's it. That's the problem. You get it? I hope so. I'm telling you. I'm telling you that's the way it works. That's the exact way all of this works. And then we get upset when our local fish store of 10 years goes away. Yet we bought 3/4 of our stuff from a big box retailer because they had coupons. But then you get upset when your local fish store goes away because their prices were $10 higher. But the only reason their prices were $10 higher is because you've demanded a crap ton of more stuff. And they can't compete with the big box retailers because they've got a family at home. Yes, they run a business and they're very successful at it. But you can only be successful until competition is so big and so strong that it doesn't matter how much hard work you put into capitalism, you will fail at some point because there will be an end game. You cannot continue to put stress on your body, your mind, and your financial stability like that. And you and I are the cause of it. Because you don't go into PetSmart, you don't contact Amazon and go, I'm about to buy 2 Purigen bottles, and PetSmart, you listen up, because I'm about to buy 10 of those neon churches you got 5 for $2. I want 10 for $1. PetSmart's going to be like, and there is the sliding door, sir. Thank you for shopping at PetSmart. Would you like to adopt one of our animals? And what's Amazon going to do? Because you ain't got no customer service with Amazon. You're going to contact Amazon and say, yeah, I'm a little ticked off here. This little 2-day shipping thing took 2 days and 6 minutes. You better fix it, Amazon. Amazon's going to be like, on to the next 1 billion customers. So, pump the brakes, my friends. Yep, see, look, Dion said, no, we don't contact him. How do I stop my Venustus hat from killing the other? You don't. Your Venustus is a natural-born killer. Most are. They're aggressive. That's what they are. They're a beautiful fish, but they don't do well with a lot of other fish. I get my purge from a local reef store that doesn't even sell freshwater fish. Purigen. I get my Purigen from a local reef store. Well, Purigen is not just, hey Reed, Purigen is not just a freshwater thing. It's a saltwater thing as well. You can use it for a variety of aquariums. And I'm really glad that you support your local fish store. It's amazing because the human connection, like I said, is far superior than click, got it. So when you look at online retailers that still have a physical store, or they're still participating in raising money and giving back to the community that you're supporting, in a sense you're doing the same thing. It's like how I started contests, and contests now are, I didn't start contests, I take that back. I tried to make contests big. I did it for a reason. I wanted it to be something that I could generate attention, drive towards the fish hobby, and you can raise money to give back to people that needed it, or the community surrounding, to build up the fish community and those that maybe didn't know about it. But now what it's become is a driver for attention and views and subscribers. And matter of fact, I was talking to Sean Pierce, and Sean Pierce and I were talking, and I said, look, I don't know if I'm going to do contests anymore, and here's why. We're ruining it. We are physically ruining it as fish keepers, because we're like, Jay just got all that stuff. Watch me roll. Dear Fluval, send me an FX6. I have a huge YouTube channel, and I would love to promote your stuff. Boop. Dear CChem, my name is Jay Wilson, and I think I have one of the most prolific YouTube channels and Facebook followings that I've ever had. I am very full of myself, and I think you should send me product because I'm going to show you how great it is on the camera that I am going to purchase with all of the money that I receive from people like you. Thank you so much, and look forward to the product. So then when somebody legitimately wants to raise money, they go procure those contacts that they had, and they go back and they say, Dear Fluval, my name is FishDad1 Chad H. I'm getting ready to develop a charity campaign where I want to raise money for a fish keeper that lost his fish tank in a house fire. I'd really like if you can send me some products that I can auction off for a cost so that I can donate 100% of the profits back to that family and hopefully generate enough money to help him recoup his losses. And this is the email you get today. Thank you so much for your email. We get thousands of these every day. We'll do our best to get back to you. Thank you, the customer support team. Because they wanted 5 extra subscribers. They wanted 2 extra followers. But they weren't willing to spend their own money to build what they had. Yeah. Check it out. A lot of people in Australia will only go to the auction due to the pricing in the shops. You know what, Tony? And the shops can feed off of that and go to the auctions and get some money. And I completely understand when shops totally take advantage. Not every local fish store is great. Not every pet store is great. Some are in it to make money because they know they can make money. And some are truly in it because they love it. It became a livelihood, but they're still passionate about it. But it's when they take it away from exactly what they started for and they lose focus. That's when you get that issue. How many Chemi Pure Blue do I put in a C530? My 6-year-old loves the Swedish fish that you sent with the others. I appreciate it, Robert. So it depends on the size of your tank is how many you'll put in your C530. I think each Chemi Pure Blue is good for 70 gallons, and each Chemi Pure Elite 11-ounce jug is good for 50 gallons, I believe. JMO Cichlids, do your thing, son. Going into lurk mode, still have 2 female icebergs to strip. The stores where you go to get something, you find yourself there 2 hours later still talking fish are the best. Absolutely, Matt Webster. Jay, are you going to the Aquatic Experience? Jacob B, yes, I will be there. I will be there wearing many hats. I will be there as myself having an amazing time. I will be there with Universal Rocks, NorthFin USA. And if you have any questions regarding the American Cichlid Association, the American Cichlid Association will also have a booth. And I would really like you to go check out the King and Queen of Cichlids who will be chilling over there. Scott McLaughlin is a dude that he's like a mad scientist behind his computer. I don't know how the dude has time to sleep with his little videos and promos and his skits he does. So go check out the ACA booth. It's in Chicago. I'll post a link on Facebook after this. How can I get my angels to stop fighting? I have no idea. I don't know much about angels. Let's see what else we got going on here. Fluval sent me 100 times FX6s for no reason. There it is. Fluval just doesn't send product to anyone. They don't anymore. There was a lot of, I believe it was the Aquatic Experience a couple years ago, people were pestering Fluval like crazy. And that's what's going to happen at the Aquatic Experience again. You know, you've got a ton of people that have some decent content that are going. You've got people that just started, and this is their access to some of the vendors like Universal Rocks, myself. And you'd be surprised at what they say and how they try to get product. And single-handedly, they can turn off a vendor instantly to 100% of the next request, even if those requests are great. So here's my recommendation. Show brand loyalty. Don't show it because you want something for free. Show it because you actually like the products and the company that you want to support and represent, and they will find that you're invested in them, so they'll invest in you. But when you show that you can give 2 craps about their Facebook page, their social media drive, their YouTube channel, or haven't bought one product or even talked to them one time other than to say, can you give me $800 worth of product so I can review it on YouTube? No. My company's been around for 62 years. I didn't get there doing that. However, we have campaigns for that, but they didn't get there with this. So think about it. That's all. Just think about that. Is a Victorian SP35 a rare species? I don't have a scientific name in front of me. Melanie, I don't think an SP35 is extremely rare, but it is not a fish you will see in the hobby quite often. Let's see. The Mabuna tank has a funky smell, have a large sponge, FX4, sun, 50% water change, no dead bodies in the tank or outside around tank. Any ideas how to pinpoint cause? Your nitrates are probably through the roof. You're probably doing way too much handsy-touchy on your tank. Folks, take your tank out on a date. Save the relationship for about 10 years. Let's just do about 90% looky and about 10% touchy. So you could be starting a cycle. Your substrate could be too tall. You could have some rocks or some decor that you haven't moved in a while that's kicking up a funk smell. Go to the chemicals first in terms of chemical makeup. So find out what your nitrogen cycle is reading at. Check the ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate. And see what happens. If not outside of that, you could just have stank fish with some stank public water supply, and sometimes all you need is a little bit of carbon. Have you tried Chemi Pure Green? No, I have not, because it was specifically designed for planet tanks with no bleed over to freshwater or saltwater, according to my buddy down at Boyd Enterprises, so that's why I haven't tried it. I knew another dude named Tony from Australia. I wish he would come back. Just wondered if you were from a SEC. Reverend J. Nah, I know. Michael Smith, do your thing. Do your thing. KG, you ain't got to go nowhere, dude. Just upgraded to a 55 to a 75 gallon Mbuna tank, and I'm thinking of moving my recliner in front of it. Better than watching TV. George, sounds like a fantastic idea. I usually leave Universal Rocks because I feel like I'm stopping you from working. I love picking your brain on fish things. So I don't mind anybody swinging by and chit-chatting. However, I do respect somebody that understands that I'm there I have a mission to do. You know, I'm there to help Universal Rocks. I'm there to be a part of that team and family. So it's the same thing when you go into a local fish store, right? Here's the deal. And I want a couple of people to tell me if they agree. Is Universal Rocks going to be at the extravaganza? Yes, I will be there for Universal Rocks in Northfin and Northfin USA, unless something crazy happens. You walk into a local fish store, there's one employee. It happens to be the owner because they can't afford to hire somebody else. And you go in there with no intention to buy, and you have a singular question about a fish. It starts off with a singular question, and it turns into about 45 minutes. They've lost 5 customers, and you still continue to be a selfish human being because you feel like you have them trapped and you need this information right now. But you bought nothing. You went into their store. They missed out on some sales. Is it the owner's fault or is it our fault? I leave that to you. How come when I test my tank I never have nitrite but I have nitrates? If you never have nitrite, it's because you're in a good nitrogen cycle. You should read 0 ammonia, 0 nitrite, and you should read 40 or below nitrates. That's kind of the broad spectrum term. So you are good. I take my hand and stir up the substrate when I do water change. Is that good? Yeah, absolutely. Is Universal Rocks going to have stock at the Aquatic Experience? Hard to find in Canada. Yes, we will be bringing tanks. We will be bringing rocks, backgrounds, tree stumps, anything aquatic we will be bringing. But we won't be bringing a ton because we have to physically drive it up there. We're going to bring a huge truckload. So if you see something, it's best not to wait till the end. It's best to get what you want right away because we may only have 2 or 3. Same thing I told people at the reptile show. They come back the last day and we didn't have half the stuff they wanted, and we brought a 26-foot truck to that reptile show. So just something to keep in your mind. Can I order stuff to pick up there? Pec Tech, absolutely. Sean, if you want to hit me up, I'm going to email jason@universalrocks.com. We can chit-chat a little bit about what we want to do. Folks, if you're looking to purchase something from the website, email me, contact us from the website, private message us. You can purchase it over the phone, save yourself on the shipping, and we will deliver it to the Aquatic Experience. Here's the deal. We're not going to be meeting up. You come to the booth, you pick it up, it'll be there with your name on it. If it's a custom order, you know that you can't return it. If we end up bringing it back with us and you don't want it, there's going to be a restocking fee. If we're able to do the restocking fee at that time. So just keep that in mind, but we will definitely take orders to bring directly to you to save on shipping, because why would you want to pay shipping if I can bring it to you? I just put 5 African cichlids in a new tank today. Is that okay that I add more tomorrow? Have you cycled the tank? How long has the tank been up? It's a new tank to you, but is it a new tank to those fish? Like, is it absolutely just set up? And if you haven't used a product like Stability or Like, then I highly recommend that you figure something out quick, because you're about to lose 5 fish, and I don't want to see that happen. Awesome, because I'm getting frustrated. I learned something I've been going a little OCD about. Thanks. Melanie, there are a ton of videos on YouTube that have shown the nitrogen cycle in a pretty easy to understand form. This is a shameless plug. I have done a nitrogen cycle 3-part series of ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate. If you watch it, you might be brain dead or you may learn something. Jay can take the RV sitting out front of Universal. That's not mine. Stability for sure. Yes, it is phenomenal. So folks, if you've got no pressing questions, or we can do this for another 15 minutes, it's your call. But if you want to ask anything you like, I really don't care. I'm very transparent. I'll tell you, you name it. I hope you gained something out of tonight. Part 2, Stank and Boona Tank, pH 7.5, ammonia. Renee Miranda, it is time to do some water changes. Your nitrate is what causing your stank tank. So that's exactly, typically you can smell nitrates. It's a thing, yes. So you can ask, yes, I understand you just did it yesterday, but you're overfeeding, you possibly have too many fish, and that's not a good thing. Or your filtration may not be good. Those are three things that can play a negative role. Will Northfin fish food ever be sold in Petco or PetSmart? Why? Why? You can get it from just about anywhere but Petco or PetSmart. Pretty readily available. Matter of fact, Northfin USA, my wife will get it to you typically in about 2 days. Faster sometimes than Amazon Prime without a membership, without a paid membership. And you get points. There's other people that sell it, so why does it need to be in Petco and PetSmart? So you can touch the bag? So yeah, there's really no reason it needs to go to Petco or PetSmart. The price isn't going to change. It may go up. Petco or PetSmart may drive the price up, forcing the price to go up just like it does for a lot of other products. So be careful what you wish for. Jay, have you heard of the kill one, keep one, and breed one? I've heard of cull them. I'm not sure the whole sentiment that it was in. I have a male blue lips and Boona grew super fast, chased all the fish, I'm sure causes stress, but no fish have died. I want to move the blue lips and Boona to my 90-gallon Happen Peacock in the Boona tank. That's what you want to do, that's up to you. I can't eat. Nobody's going to stop you. You can try it. If he's causing issues there, maybe he won't cause issues in there, or maybe he will cause issues. But if you've been feeding something different and you move them over, just look for possible digestion issues. At Jay, hey, when you were feeding fluvial bug bites, did it stink up your aquarium? Because it does mine and makes my living room stink for about 30 minutes and then it goes away. Yes, I've said it before, they do make your tank water stank. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I didn't feed it for 6-7 months and that was it. I don't even think I ate one. So Autumn Rose, I don't even think keeps fish, but they stuck around long enough to listen. So kudos to you, Autumn Rose. I highly recommend you go out and get yourself a fish tank. Sup with y'all in Boona. So in Boona Mike, the Demace and I are still devils. It's just one. I added a ton more Holy Rock. I'll do an update again on it. Haven't lost one to ACI. They're doing phenomenal. I'm probably going to move them to a 150 tall, ton of Holy Rock into the showroom to kind of break it up. I think it'll be really, really neat. But so, we'll see. They're still jerks. They're still jerks. No, I will not go to Petco or PetSmart. Thank you, Jay. I'm going to stop using that stuff. Nah, you don't need to stop using it. It just stinks. I mean, if you like it and it's working and it's cost effective for you, then keep using it. If it's not, use something else. Hey, dude, the fish is upside down. Which fish? I see tree fishes. If you're talking about this is not a fish. This is a mag float. I got an angel cat the other day. How do I know he's getting enough to eat? Alright, I'll hit this topic really quick. Folks, if you got bottom feeders in with a ton of middle and top swimmers, you're going to stress yourself out trying to figure out how to feed everything in your tank. They will eat. I have not once, and I'm not saying don't intentionally not feed them, but don't stress yourself. People are like, I'm using tweezers and I hand feed him the wafers. I gotta get the pellet to him. He's not eating. Everybody eats everything else. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff that gets thrown down there. Not poop, but there's a lot of broken pellets or flakes, especially flakes. Flakes just go everywhere. Those fish are gonna eat. I have not physically one time ever specifically fed any one of my catfish, and they gain weight and size better than the ones that I'm feeding directly. So don't overwhelm yourself. Mag float, magnesium. No, Autumn Rose. So Autumn Rose doesn't know anything about fish keeping, folks, so this is really neat. But a mag float is a floating magnet for your aquarium to clean. So it creates this suction between the glass via magnetics, and when you drag it up and down, you're cleaning the inside of the glass instead of putting your hand on it. Commonly seen in a lot of saltwater tanks, it can also be used in freshwater tanks. Please do not use it on plastic tanks, because if you get a non-acrylic mag float, you will destroy your acrylic tank, which is plastic. For the record, he does voices in person. I'm the same person. I am. Good kind of jerks like me. I don't know you in Buddha Mike, but I'll take your word for it. They are scavengers for a reason. No, absolutely they are. I mean, that's kind of the thing. Autumn Rose, if you're interested more in fish keeping, there's a ton of people on YouTube that can help you. There's the American Cichlid Association. If you type in cichlid.org, you can check that out. You can also check Cichlid Day, CICHLIDAE. That will also give you some good information. Fish Dad 1 Chad H, have a good night. And then there's just a ton of great places on Facebook you can go. There's groups if you're interested in fish keeping, and if you're not, thanks for stopping by. It was genuinely surprising that somebody that has no idea about fish keeping clicks on it and checks it out. It's pretty neat. What's the best food for bristlenose plecos? The food, you can feed them zucchini. You can get a pleco feeder. They'll hang on that. They can eat the scraps and wafers that make it to the bottom and get broken apart. And they eat the algae off of a background or the glass or rocks, or, you know, they're going to eat. Matt Webster, the Aquatic Lounge on Facebook. Morning, Jay. Got my first fry this week. My OB and Dragon Bud. Fancied a bit. Super excited. Adam Langley, that is awesome to hear. I'm glad that you were able to cohabitate 2 fish to make the whoopee and develop some babies. My favorite type of pleco, I don't even know the names because it's not something I've ever been super into, but I really dig on the golden nugget. However, I've never kept one. I probably won't keep one, but I do enjoy bristlenose or bushy nose plecostomus because they don't get big, and I've had really great luck with them. I have got nowhere setting up the tank for the Holding Yellow Lab J. Guess I better go if I want to sleep tonight. Well, Sean Pierce, you better get after it. So, folks, I'll leave it open for another few questions, and then we're going to call it a night unless you folks just get me sparked back up. Do you have fish that deliver? Do you have people that deliver? Okay, do you have fish that deliver live fish? So, Autumn Rose, the fish we're primarily talking about are African cichlids found in a few different lakes in Africa, Lake Malawi, Lake Tanganyika, and the Victorian Basin. And there's a lot of information that goes behind it, and there's probably other places you can procure these fish in Africa, but that's mainly what we're talking about. These fish, they're mouth brooders, and so they hold the eggs in their mouth until the babies are born. And we call them fry, like French fry. And what happens is once the eggs and the yolk have developed into fish, very similar to what a tadpole would do. However, instead of keeping them on the back like certain amphibians will do, they keep them in the mouth to protect them. The mother will then open the mouth, allow the babies to get out, pick, forage, get what they need, and come back in the mouth. So they can hold anywhere from 1 to 100 plus fry at any given time, and they do that by loosening the throat. You can Google a African cichlid holding fry, and you'll see a ton of awesome pictures. And the neat part is if you're breeding them, you can then take them from her at the right time, just like you would dog, cats, birds, etc. And you can raise them specifically to make sure that you have a better success rate, as opposed to a female African cichlid that may be her first time or second time and she's not very good at it. She may kill off some fish. Woo! So I hope that gave you a little bit more information. But they do the whoopee. Looks like this. They drop off a little stuff. Female comes by, scoops it up with her mouth, and then she tumbles them. Just like we would tumble bubble gum in our mouth. They do that for a period of roughly 2 weeks, if some a little less, some a little longer, and then they develop into fish, which is pretty neat. More Crown and Coke, Jake? No, today I am drinking straight Lipton iced tea. The Amazon Research Center is taking a group of people to Peru to catch fish and ship them back to America for $1,500. That's awesome. How best to curb trophious aggression with each other. 5 Mbembas, 5 Halembe, 1 Firecracker, all juvies, question mark. Separate tank, non-stank. So here's the deal, Renee. Typically, trophious are a little aggressive. That's why people will tell you to get them in large groups and to keep them specific, like firecrackers with firecrackers, bembas with bembas, and halembe with halembe, or acola with acola, etc. Because in a sense it will reduce a little bit of the aggression. So the only thing I can really tell you is if you don't have about 18 to 24 or the tank space for that many, you're going to continue to have some assassins, if you will, or aggressive nitpickers within that group. Still got one more female iceberg to go. Do you have an outlet for wild-caught Africans? Nick Ramirez, I will never recommend wild-caught Africans. However, there's places to get them if you are not breeding. That's me. I'm not discouraging anybody from doing it. I just feel, what's the need for wild-caught unless you're looking to preserve that specific species? And if you're not, and you're just doing it because you think it's cool, or the title's cool, or you're looking to see if you can get a better-looking fish, I hate to tell you, but it's a 50-50 crapshoot on if it's going to be that great of a fish. However, if you're looking for a specific fish, like, for instance, Dave's Rare Fish right now at Houston, Texas, has a pre-order list for Buccochromis lepturus green. Very hard fish to get a hold of right now, right? But he'll get them wild caught. I think they're $120 a pop. So, if that's what you're after, there's a place to get them. Southeast Cichlids does wild caught. SI Cichlids does wild caught. I'm sure Cunningham Cichlids does wild caught. There's a lot of reputable places that do wild caught. I would recommend you going there first as opposed to going to, Jimmy Fugazi, where he's like, hey bro, I can get you any little wild caught fish you like here, you see? I got you a couple Rolexes, got you a couple Bucromis, and I got yourself some Nagaventor. Would you like any Nagaventor? Charge you $50 a pop, straight from the lake, baby. You're the first one to touch them. They look beautiful, huh? They're gonna excite your tank like no other. I'm telling you. You don't want to go after any of these other guys. You know, they're doing the German stuff and they're Euro. We out of that. We're straight from Africa, baby. We're giving you the goods. They were illegally caught, possibly, and you didn't know because they weren't reputable. So, do your homework. Autumn Rose, thank you. I have a bone to pick with MagFloat. After only 2 years, one of the magnets broke loose and inside, and it's a pain to use now. Contact MagFloat. I have another question. I have 13 African cichlids in a 75-gallon tank, and 12 of them love the cichlid formula from Northfin, but just one doesn't seem to go for it, and I have to feed him flakes. King Pete, I will say this time and time again, your fish will eat whatever food you put in there. If you don't continue to supplement with flake for that fish to eat, then he will eventually eat the pellet. And if he's not eating, period, then there's something wrong with the fish. Or they don't like the texture, or they don't like the size of the specific pellet. Maybe they're getting stressed out. They don't feel like they can actively go after the pellets because they feel like it's too aggressive. It's like watching a bunch of football players run to a barbecue buffet after a 2-a-day week practice. So there's a few things to look in from there. Separate from the others, why is that? I'm also thinking of ordering some veggie formula for them. Folks, don't get specific and spend a ton of money to feed all your different fish. Find a food you like, find a food that works for your budget, what works for your tank. Your fish will eat it. Jay, do you know who Corey from Aquarium Co-op is? Yes, I do know who Corey from Aquarium Co-op is. Why is that, Jacob? How's the tumbling go again? Man, so Sasquatch Aquatics is rocking right now. I like to see that. So folks, it's been real. I hope you got something out of it. Typically an hour long to rewatch is not something, but I hope it's good. So he has an 800-gallon, and his MagFloat costs around $300 because his acrylic tank is so thick. That's crazy for a magnet cleaner. Yes, it is very expensive for a magnet cleaner. These things aren't even cheap for regular tanks, let alone an 800-gallon mag float. We finished building a 26-foot acrylic front tank, and that person's not going to be using a mag float. They're going to be using scuba gear or a wetsuit and a snorkel, and they're going to clean the inside of the glass that way. So that's definitely pretty crazy. Let's see. My 300 has 3/4 inch thick and it already sucks. Well, that is awesome. That's actually not awesome because I'm looking at building a specific tank and I'm a little nervous. Let's see. I just got a group message and I have no idea. Oh, here we go. So, Corey from Aquarium Co-op, I'm attempting one last push. If all you guys could do me a solid, share this event. They're going to be doing a promotion to reach more potential people to get them involved in the aquatic community. Feel free to add a comment to the discussion section about plans of what you're bringing. Let's get people excited to see everyone that's going to be there. That's what I'm talking about. So we really want to get back to getting people super excited about what we're doing and what we do. Didn't realize you're so anti-wild caught fish. Lincoln wrote, I'm not anti-wild caught fish. I don't think wild caught fish should be kept just for... Hey guys, check out my fish. It's pretty cool, right? Oh yeah, what's that one? Don't worry about that one. This one's wild caught. Yeah, but that one looks ugly. Yeah, but it's wild caught. Huh? Right from the lake in Africa. It's pretty sweet, right? Yeah, but the other fish is prettier. Yeah, don't worry about that. This is wild caught. That cost me 8 times more. It's pretty sweet, right? Tell me it's sweet. Tell me that I paid and it was worth it. And tell me that the wild caught name is worth it. And if you don't get it from reputable, it may not be wild caught. You don't know. But yes, I think wild caught are an amazing thing. And people's like Dave Roder Fish and Southeast Cichlids and the Wonder of Cichlids, I believe, can get wild caught fish. There's so many people that can get them, and that's good because we can get fish that we want to breed. But just having one in the tank doesn't do anything because in the event it dies, it was one less fish that couldn't help that specific species because there was no plan to help it. It was just procuring it. Does that make sense? That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm not anti-wild caught. Ruben Rivera, what's up, bruh? Most puffers are wild caught. Yes, they are. And it's crazy. I've had people argue with me about wild caught fish and then say they're against it. And then turns out they've got like 3 tanks full of puffers. It's like, come on, man. So, what is the best way to clean a large 220-gallon tank using the Eheim vac now? Is there something better? Houston Anderson, my man, no, that is probably your best way. You can use a Python, which works great. You can hook it up to a pump. How about those Jenkies? Gregory Alderate, wild-caught fish are not illegal if you're not procuring wild-caught illegal fish. So certain species land on a list. So that's awesome. Autumn Rose says, I gotta cook dinner, and you're keeping me here. You're refreshing. Thank you, Autumn Rose. I appreciate that. Gregory Alderate, I'm wrong. So I apologize, Gregory. If you can enlighten me on why wild-caught fish are illegal, I greatly appreciate it. Now, if you're talking about a specific fish, or you live in a specific area that makes it illegal, then yeah, you're correct. But getting wild-caught fish, as you and me, is not illegal unless it is done illegally there. And a specific species, a specific point, etc. I work for Fish and Wildlife. Gregory, I will stay till you decide to leave and debate you about this. It is not illegal. It is illegal in certain states to procure certain things. But if a reputable place is harvesting a wild-caught fish out of Lake Malawi and brings it to the United States, it passes through customs, gets to the place that's going to sell it, and it is not a fish that's on a list of illegal procured fish, you can 100% sell that fish. Another nice t-shirt. You're wrong. Who wants popcorn? I'll legit stay. I don't mind that, because if I'm wrong, then I would admit it. But I know 100% that I'm not wrong in this case. Sell that fish. In Ontario, you need a fishing license and you can only keep specific sizes. I think it's state province specific and depends on the fish. You're talking about specifically fishing a local fish, absolutely. Catch and release policy has to be a certain size, certain weight limit, can't capture more. We're talking about aquatic hobbyist fish that you're putting in a fish tank that are not local or endemic fish to that area. It used to be illegal to catch zebras. It used to be illegal to keep tigers, but Texas has got more tigers in private homes than we do in the wild. So, nah. Autumn Rose, have a good night. But if Gregory Alderite wants to talk about where he works, let me get you the ordinance of wild fish and that they are federally mandated. Yes. Get me the ordinance of wild caught fish out of Lake Malawi. I'll wait. My email is askawaywithj@gmail.com, and you can show me the list that has specific fish that are not allowed to be imported, and then you can show me all the other fish that you can import. I'm not talking about specific fish to a specific locale locally, because there's certain fish that I can take out of a lake as long as they meet the requirements and raise them in a tank. Especially taking multiple out that are legal and then breeding them in a large program like a fishery or a hatchery, and then having babies that were no longer taken from the lakes or the streams or the ponds and sold. I caught a bass in a pond and put it in my fish tank. Is that considered wild caught? Yes. Now, Gregory, when you send it, I want you to highlight where it says all wild caught fish in the world are illegal to import. Fish and Wildlife is at your door. They have a warrant. For what? Hit me with your best shot. Ooh, fire away. They can come to the door. What are they going to do?
Is your name Jay Wilson? Are you on the live on the YouTube? My name's Officer Jack Daniels, and I noticed that you had an endemic fish to the Texas lake system that appears to be a wild-caught bass.
No, sir. That is a redfin marginatus.
I don't care what you tell me. It was based upon a chain letter email that was shared multiple times around the Facebook and social Twitterverse. And I have to tell you, sir, we're going to be confiscating those and the ham you have in the refrigerator because we had to take time out of our day for this bull malarkey.
You're going to get a picture of some random dude's fishing license. Just info within ourselves. I've used my tap water and never had a problem. Hold on, somebody asked a question. Jay, I watched almost vid you use water from your hose and everyone says use aquarium water. There's no such thing as specific aquarium water. However, I use well water from my hose, and I do treat it for my trophies. I did not often treat it, period, for my haps and peacocks when I did have the well. As long as you're testing your water and you know that you're using a specific, chemical to dilute the water to make it safe. For instance, Primer Safe, I'm a huge fan of. That will then give you aquarium water. I use city water from... Jordan Rock, that was probably the best comment of all time right now. Currently considering paying 300 bones each for a few wild blue lips in UK. Is that crazy? Yeah, because if you're talking about blue lips, I don't know. If it's a fish that you like and you're going to breed them in, the money is kind of, the price is what you're willing to pay. You're only going to drive the market. So if you pay for it now, then they think anybody's going to pay for it, and then the prices will never go down. But do your thing, man. If that's what you want to do, do it. Would I do it? No. But that's not me. But I'm a dude that would spend, $250 to $300 on a pair of sneakers. So there's different things for different folks. So no rainwater, too many pollutants. Jay, what's your most expensive fish you ever owned? Probably $85 was the most I've ever paid for a singular fish. Hindsight, it wasn't worth it, but I mean, it's $85. Sucks. But if I was going to breed the Buccochromis lepturus green, I would most definitely pay the money for them. Will you ever do a planet tank, aquascape a tank? I did a hardscape in a small tank with some planet dirt. Will I ever do a planet tank? Maybe. I think they're cool. I just don't know. Right now I don't have time to do that. But once I get time and everything's settled and I'm back with family and we're moving in the right direction, then yeah, probably. So, Lincoln, that's way too much for Blue Lips. I said, do your thing. The other iceberg had about 30 eggs. She's the bigger one of the two. Sasquatch just pulling eggs. What is your favorite African cichlid and do you own one? Or what is your favorite fish that you wish you could own but can't because it's illegal to keep? I don't have a fish that's... I guess I would love to keep a Petrochromis Bulu Red. There are a lot of farm-raised ones. There's kind of debate or talk that they're illegal to catch out of the lake, which I believe out of one area they are, and some people say, well, I can get them from the other area. I don't know how much of that is true because I don't have the tank space for it, and I don't know if I'm ready for that stress of how mean Petrochromis could be. You can ask anybody how mean Petrochromis would be. Ask Josh Cunningham. Donovan Barger, ask him how aggressive Petrochromis Moshi Yellow are. So Petrochromis is a beautiful fish. I'd love to keep it. I just don't think I have the space right now. Universal Rocks is going to be at NARBC in February in Texas. More than likely, yes. That's one long string of poop back there. I think somebody just keep looking back. Nobody has poop, man. Unless he cut it out, I don't see anything. But if it is, then great. He pooped. Let's see what else we got before I end this bad boy. Do you believe in power feeding? No. Fish porn. I believe in power. Oh, look at this. This is great. How come you don't use a drip system for your tanks? Because my tanks are all sporadic. I've got a 75, I've got like a 36 gallon, I've got the 150. They're all in different places. So if I was going to do that, it would be... here's something I should read. Hi, Jay Wilson. We have been watching you for a while and we'd like to offer you a job as a featured performer for our company. Would you like to embrace this opportunity? We can make you a star. Pornhub Executive Director of New Talent. That took a lot of time and effort to create and write. You're crazy, whoever that is. My water is perfect hardiness and pH, and I have no water softener. I have well and use prime, and I've never had any issue. I just see so many videos says you got to do it this way. You could do it this way. You could do it that way. It's kind of up to you. Your fish is doing the MC Hammer back there, bro. You can't touch this. They're probably spitting sand. So, Lethanops marginatus or redfin love to chill in the sand. So they could be backing up. They could be pillaging the sand. I still think this is a male. I don't think I have enough females in there. I've got one more female at the shop that I'm going to bring over. But, yeah. I sent you fish porn on Facebook, Jay. Do you think API Pimafix works to heal fungus? No, I do not. I'd really like to know who made that. If I was to guess, I would say it was probably Kevin Green. Oh, I know they're messing with me. I believe in power bottoms. Oh, and I believe that's Kevin Green. So that's what I'm talking about. Jay, where are all the mods at? They don't hang as long as I do. They don't hang as long as I do. So, do you think it works to heal fungus? No, I don't. What do you recommend? To heal fungus, a medicine. Check out API. Northfin USA's got a ton of medicines for you to check out. Let's see. Somebody was sending something. I did hear someone say who... Alright, folks. Some of my ACRs are rubbing on the rocks. No signs of ick. Is my water too hard? No. You might have an adjutant in it. Ammonia may be high. This video is getting extremely long. What's the best product for ick? Riddick is pretty good. I want to start a channel. I'm a goof and a half. I just, on your opinion, any suggestions? Do what you're passionate about, be you, don't change, and have a good time, and your channel will do what it needs to do. Jay, how are you loving the new job? It's not a job, it's a passion, and I absolutely love every day. The only part I dislike is the disconnect from my family. Folks, it's 9/18. Go enjoy some time with your family. Enjoy some time with your fish. Become a member of the ACA. Check us out at the Aquatic Experience. Get crazy. Show up. Have fun. It's going to be a blast. Get back to loving fish. Stop imitating. Stop duplicating. Stop replicating. And start creating. And now I have to get up and touch the camera. So enjoy the tank for 30 seconds. Thank you so much for watching. You know what's next.